I'm Book Talk with Kay, for those that don't know. This is my co-host, Lyha, and tonight we are having on Miss H.R. Bell. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I go by HR Bell. I am from the Midwest. I am currently also a college student.
Wow. What are you going to school for, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm getting my master's in social work.
Oh, that's amazing
Yeah, so I
and
currently work
rough.
as yeah, it can be some days. I currently work as a case manager, so I work with our teen population,
Oh,
which is so
I
fun.
am a high school
Midwest.
substitute. So, and
Midwest.
Deb's in the
Woo!
comments. She is a high school teacher, so we thank you for all that you do because that's rough some days.
Yes, thank you. I love working with people. I say I hate people, but I love working with people. And mental health, I've been working in the mental health field since I was a junior in high school.
Oh wow.
So I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah. Um so what started your love for writing?
That's actually kind of a funny story. I was in high school and I had a group of friends who were all guys and they needed a woman's voice. So they asked me. And that's where it kind of took off. I'm actually the only one, I'm not close with them anymore, but I'm the only one that still writes.
Oh wow.
So that kind of blossomed from there. That character's been with me since eighth grade. Um, so she really started my love for writing.
Love that. Uh Laya is saying that your book released yesterday.
Yes, on Kindle.
So why don't you tell us all about it?
So I got my second proof in, so it looks a little nicer.
Ooh.
But I wrote Crowned in Ashes. Her little hand movements. um, so, Crowned in Ashes is a dual POV. It is a romantasy about power born from loss, loyalty forged in fire, and a desire to survive. The story follows Theodora Ashira after she becomes one of the kingdom's most feared creatures, a flameborn. She is a carrier of flame and truth in equal measure. But the truths that she has are ones the kingdom would rather keep buried. But as she carries these truths and this fire, she just wants to survive, running for the dark wood. Hunting her is Darren, a loyal soldier to the crown, a captain, but his past is intertwined with Thea's. He's just following orders and he has to catch her alive. The story contains a slow burning defiance, being seen as a monster, and myths that bleed into truth. Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
But this is not a romantasy where the enemies become lovers by the end of book one. This is a love story that's going to make you bleed for it first.
Oh man. I started it, but I haven't finished it yet.
Oh my goodness.
That is the best intro, especially for
Ever.
romantasy girlies.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it.
So, what was your inspiration for this book?
Theodora is actually created from my original character who I first wrote. I potentially will probably never write her real story just because it is connected to my friends, and I definitely do not think that I could write those characters that they created. But maybe one day. But so something about the Flameborns is that they have fire in their eyes and markings. So you can never walk past a Flameborn and not know they're there. And my original character had markings kind of like that. So I wanted something that kind of embodied my original character, but she took on a life of her own. She took the wheel once I gave her a name, and she's grown into something I I didn't fathom. So that was the original. And a lot of I do have stories that I've never published, but a lot of my stories have lessons in them. Um, I love the taps. So this one surrounds a lot about choice and the power of choice. So that's something that Thea has to come to terms with.
Well, we love a strong FMC, sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I was trying to
Okay.
keep up with something. Oh, Bailey said reflective of wanting to be seen. She loves that. Thanks for that, guys. So I love all things romantasy. It's my go-to. If I need a break from that, I go to rom-com. I'm a love girly. um, how do you stand out in an oversaturated market?
I think one of the things that I did that I haven't seen, I think the only other romantasy book that I've read that I've seen this in is Powerless, is that my prologues are in third person. They will all be in third person. So it kind of leaves that mystery of who is this person talking right now in the beginning of this book. But also, I have integrated chapters from other people's point of view, primarily the king. So you kind of get to get inside his head. Um, I've also never written in the male's perspective before, so this is a challenging series for me, but I'm loving every minute of it.
So is the king a main character?
As of right now, he's kind of a little bit of a side, but he will grow greater depth as the story continues.
Yeah, that's a different multi point of view
Yeah.
romantasy.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you love about your favorite character?
Oh gosh. I have to go with the girl, so I have to go with Theodora. I think I'm trying not to give too much away, but what she has to go through, I think it shows a lot about endurance and I mean the process of grief and the process of someone else trying to write your story and determining whether or not you're going to let them is a huge thing for me. Writing was my way of healing from my mental health. Um, so she really, I think, embodies that choice, that determination, and the power of healing. I think as well.
Love that. So, what's one of the things that you dislike about your favorite character?
You know, I hate when she takes the wheel and I don't know what's happening. She kind of locks me in the trunk sometimes, and I have to catch up. Um, because this story was actually only supposed to be 3 books,
Mm-hmm.
and it is not anymore. um, but I think that when I first started writing it, it was very low level. But as the story grew, I realized how much can be impacted in this and how much people could take from this story.
I love that. What was one of the most unexpected challenges that you've had while writing?
I think it's that, like, as we call like the writer imposter syndrome. Um, I have always dealt with being in other people's shadow. So I'm the first author in my family. Like, I'm a first generation student. So there's a lot of me coming out into the light. So standing in the light by myself is terrifying.
Oh,
Um, but I'm also finding so much joy in it, and it's helping me find I'm protecting my peace, which I love.
Yeah. So do you think that your main female character has a lot of you in her?
I think so. I try not to put too much of myself in her. She's a lot more stubborn than I am on a day to day life. I think my husband would say differently if he were in the chat. Um, but I think starting off, she has a lot of determination and a lot of survival instinct, which is great. What do you do for writer's block? Mm, I read um, when I can. I also like to draw my characters when I can. Theodora is not one that I have attempted yet because there is so much detail to her. But I also just write um, if I'm not vibing right at that moment with what I'm writing, I'll write something else and kind of get out of that. So maybe a more intense scene or a more intimate scene that will happen later. Like those scenes have already been written,
Oh,
just because I needed a different change of pace.
yeah. Bailey in the comments, she was terrified to write a romance scene. Like, and so we're like, just do it. And so she did it and she had it saved for later. And I think that helped her a lot get out of her own head.
I haven't written any of those yet. I've gotten close.
James asked, how many words a day do you write?
It depends on the day. Sometimes I will write one word because like Theodore and Darren are ignoring me. Other days I can get up to, I think the most I've written in a day was here recently in the last couple weeks. I think I ended up pumping out 11,000 just because it just flowed.
Wow.
Um, so sometimes like the story just it flows, and but other days it's like they're ignoring me and they're off in La La Land. How do you juggle life and writing? That's a good question. Um, I make it a part of like my husband is very supportive. Um, but this is my way of kind of relaxing at the end of the day, listening to some good music. Um, this is kind of how I wind down. I think I missed a question. What's the hardest part on writing a male character? I worry about writing him in a way too feminine light, like making
Do
him more
you
feminine is what I worry about.
do you let your husband read it like the male point of view to see if it's like too girly or
No, he doesn't. I kind of write it and then I'll read it over and I'm like, okay. It's what I've noticed is like Thea, she lets her emotions show more, whereas I keep Darren more
paper?
that controlled emotion, more in his head than letting it show. And I think that's kind of where I keep that balance. Um, so I hope that is like it reads off in a more male perspective.
Mm-hmm. James asked how many editors do you use?
Zero. I did it all by myself. I made the cover myself. I did the editing myself.
I love that. How did you make your cover? Did you draw it? Did
I
you use Canva?
I used Canva to make my cover,
It's beautiful.
and then the back has a little synopsis from both Theodore and Darren, um, which I plan to continue for all the books in the series. Even yeah, even let me read it, and I didn't use a red pen. Well, that's great. Glad I caught all my
Um,
spelling errors.
if your book would be adapted into a film, if you even wanted it to be, who would your dream cast be?
Oh gosh. Um, okay, I don't know a lot of actors by their real names. I just know them by the characters they play.
That's okay.
But a lot of my idea of how Theodore looks is based off of it maybe kind of that will slowly grow into a little bit of the mentality of Octavia from the 100.
I love her.
She her pictures are used a lot in my like picture videos. But Darren, oh gosh, I don't know. That one's hard. I haven't thought like really thought about that. I knew what like Thea was in my head, but I feel like oh, I don't know. I guess I have to figure that one out, and I'll make a post.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, you're good.
um, how did you choose the title of your book, and what significance does it hold to you?
Hmm. I so originally it was oh gosh, what was it originally called? I think it was called Crowned in Smoke, but it didn't. I wanted it to fit the Flameborn. Um, so ooh, I'm trying not to like spoil too much, and I'm in book two trenches as well, so I'm trying not to like mix up my timelines. um, but she is the first Flameborn in 10 years. Um, so Flameborns, they can either learn to control their power or they're consumed by it. So Ashes, she was born in ashes
Mhm.
in the ruins of her life. So Ashes was something that was like it had to be there. And she's also in book three. Yes, I am. Stop telling on me, Lyha. And I just liked the way it said like the crown. I was playing with a
Mhm.
lot of sometimes on TikTok, like based on your name, you can like find what your title is. And I kept seeing crown in all of them. So that was kind of how I picked crown. And I was like, crown and ashes. That has a nice ring to it and it flows nice and it's not like hard to say. So all of them are titled crowned in blank.
Yeah, I love that. A concise theme. Hey, Court. What research did you have to do for this?
I I took a lot of it from my own like imagination. I very much live in my head. I've done a little research on little spoiler. I had to see how far you could fall off a waterfall without getting hurt. So there's a little spoiler for you guys in book one. um, had to make sure that we didn't cause any damage. But that was like the big one is I've never there was just so much movement. Nice. That it kind of just like I'm a very imaginative kid. I'm a very much a Disney kid. I'm an adult and I'm
Mhm.
calling myself a kid. So that
I get
fantasy and that
it.
make believe, it literally just runs wild.
Hey, Bestie. How do you approach writing dialogue, and what's your tips for other authors?
I go off of the moment and what feels right because, and like, I definitely change dialogue. I change what characters say because it just doesn't fit. I
Hmm.
go with more the emotion of the scene, and I think that has definitely changed a lot in my writing. Like I would just put whatever I wanted, but it didn't fit when I first started writing. Like when I first started writing, like our my book that I wrote with my friends, it was like they were running away and she just my character said, "What was that? What happened?" Well, you know what happened. So it didn't fit. So my dialogue writing has changed a lot over the years through my many different projects that I have. Just sitting in my drive.
With romantasy and fantasy, there's a lot of world building. How do you approach building this huge universe?
I started off book one mostly started off with that storyline, and then I went back through in my first edits to really build that surrounding feel of what it felt like and what the air smelled like, what the ground felt like, um, what the village felt like, what the woods feel like. I was a very outdoorsy kid, so writing the environment out in the woods on like that felt natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it kind of all just started taking shape in my mind, and then putting it into words just took a little bit longer. So then like draft 2 and draft 3 it kind of fully took shape.
I love that. Yeah, what I've read so far, you're definitely in there. You can sense all of the things. Um, the beginning of it, I'm only at the beginning of it. So, like, that first chapter really draws you in with your descriptive writing.
You.
Um, what do you think the most challenging scene you've had to write so far is?
Hmm. I I think it's the development of Theodora and Darren's relationship from what you see in book one. Um, and that it's their interactions are so minimalistic, but not trying to overdo it or oversell it that they know each other. But I allow myself to get a little bit more into the trenches with that with book two. We see book two, you get to see how interconnected their pasts are. Um,
Yeah.
to kind of leave people going like, how well do they know each other? Is it like a high five or
Yeah.
um, how deep that goes and how much? Because she's just trying to survive and run away, and he's chasing her, and he's supposed to bring her back to the kingdom alive.
Yeah. Megan asked what was the spice level in this book?
Spice level is 0 because of their minimalistic interactions, but book
Slow
two,
burn,
they're
guys.
slow burn. It is a slow burn. I'm gonna make you bleed for it first. um, book two, there's a few more interactions, and I did. There's it's a PG-13, but there's a little bit more heat to it. I will put it that way. There's a little bit more heat to the PG-13 interaction.
Um, do you have a planned date to release book two?
I am still working on the first draft. So I write my bigger scenes first because I feel like those hit the hardest. Um, and I think the most important. And so writing those fillers, I'm still in draft one. I think I have like 30 chapters left of book two for first draft, and I'm already at 90 something thousand words. So,
Oh, wow.
and then I'm gonna let some people read my first draft to see how it flows, to see if I need to get rid of anything or add to anything. So July 3rd, jeez Louise, Lyha. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I talked to an author yesterday that already released 3 books out this year. I'm like, this year? And they're like, yeah. I was like, what?
I think book two is probably going to be the longest break right now between book one and book two because, as Lyra read me out, I already have a vague rough draft for book three and book four. So, book two, like I said, this was only supposed to be three books, but the Dark Wood, I mean, just saying it, it's what's there, what's in it. So there's so much more lore and creatures that needed to be developed.
Sorry, mom just called. And,
Oh, you're good.
um, so how do you, since you edited this all by yourself, how do you, hey guys, how do you handle your editing and do you have arc readers?
So yeah, I let Lyra and Deb arc read for me. But editing, I feel like my process is weird, but I do use Grammarly, but sometimes Grammarly is wrong, as I have found out with writing more. But I finish draft one and then I go onto a completely separate doc and I rewrite it.
Oh,
And then that's how I
um,
catch all my errors.
yeah, they have a thing with commas and like past and present tense is not correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I've caught a
um,
lot of the this is past tense and then I read it and I was like, no, no, it's not.
yeah. Um, do you use Readsy? It's a good tool. I've heard. I
Yes,
don't.
I just actually that is actually how I formatted this one. So I've just started learning how to use Breedsy for the first time.
Hmm. Um, I have it, but I haven't really played around with it that much. So, what's one thing that you hope readers take away from your book?
Hmm.
And it could be the whole overall series. It doesn't have to just be the first book.
Yeah, gosh. I think the biggest thing is just kind of thinking about her arc and his arc throughout the whole series is that we're a lot stronger than maybe we let ourselves believe sometimes. And that yeah, it's the like that we have a lot more power than sometimes we let ourselves believe. We're a lot stronger than we let ourselves believe.
Yeah,
And we can do more and achieve more than what we let ourselves believe.
I think that's a great um, hope to have because one thing, if I was a writer, I would hope that people would find some kind of hope in my writing.
Yeah.
That is beautiful, Courtney.
Thank you.
What's some of the struggles that you've had as an indie author?
Oh. Um I think I've gotten like I haven't had too many issues, but other people questioning like, well, why aren't you just traditionally publishing? Like, it's not that it shouldn't be that hard. I'm like, oh, but it is, and I've done a lot of research to come up with the what I wanted in being a indie author is having that individuality and also that like this is my work and putting it out there myself and doing it myself. Um, just to kind of prove to myself that I can.
Yeah. Is there plans to go with a publisher or?
Not at the moment. I think if I don't think I'll search it out, but if it comes my way, I'll decide then.
That makes sense.
Your tip. Thank you.
What was the best money that you've spent as an author so far?
Um, Finally purchasing Canva Pro.
Yeah.
um, I think was I haven't actually spent a whole lot on this series. I'm trying to think of how if I've really spent much else. I think Canva Pro is the biggest thing that I've kind of bought to help with this process. Eventually, I plan on having character art, so that will probably be the best money I've ever spent once I find a character artist.
I find so many more on Instagram. You have to be careful, some are fake. But there seem I mean, I'm sure there's tons on TikTok. I just have not found that many. But on Insta, there's so many more.
Yeah, I've had a few reach out to me on TikTok. I
Oh,
am
cool.
just very nervous about handing over my babies.
That makes
Um,
sense. Yeah.
and spending that kind of money, like $200 to $300,
Per
is a
character. Yeah.
lot. Yeah. If you were thrust into
Um,
your world, where do you think you'd fit in society? Hmm. Let's just say I would not be in the kingdom. I'd want to be in one of the like little villages on the outside. I am not a city girl. I am a country girl. So stick me in a village in the woods. I'll be great. I'll thrive.
I love that. I'm also a country girl. um, Joe asks, how do you balance career school goals with being an author? Do you draw from your life into your writing?
Um, it is a little hard to balance sometimes on some days, but I find that I have the most time to write on the weekends or sometimes in after work. It just depends on the kind of day that I've had. Being a case manager, I do work with kids that are a little higher risk and need a little bit more support than just therapy. Um, and school, thankfully, I am only in 2 classes this semester, so that makes it a little easier. Um, and not a lot of class coursework that I have to do. Um,
Yeah.
but I think I have drawn a little bit from my life, especially there is some days where I have a hard day and I just need to write a sad scene, and it may not even be connected, just a story to kind of let it out. Because it's my way of this is me healing. This is my healing journey. Um,
I love that. So what are some authors that inspire you, and what authors did you think that you would like and you cannot get on board with?
oh, gotta look at my bookshelf. I really loved the Powerless series. That was one that
Me
I read
too.
this summer. But one that I read was it's a dark romance. It's called The Pawn and the Puppet, and
Oh,
she is an indie author. And I gobbled her books up like there's no tomorrow. And the final book in the series is coming out here in like a week, and I can't wait to have it in my possession because she waited too long. But reading her book and realizing that she was an indie author, and I was like, oh, I could do this. If she can do it, I can.
yeah.
Um,
What's her? What's the author's name?
I'll have to grab it.
Oh, it's okay. I can look it up.
Her name is Brandy Ellis. I can't say her last name.
Sorry. Her name's Brandy. Is that what you said? Sorry, my
Yeah, that's
mom
her
is
first
sick,
name.
and okay, she is
She is
popular on the
popular on
top.
TikTok and
Thanks,
Facebook.
baby. Joe asked, "Do you take notes, and how do you manage all the ideas for your books?" Is there a program or platform that you use?
I don't take notes from other books that I've been reading because I don't want to copy anyone's idea or make anyone that's reading my book feel like they're reading the same story but by a different author. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Keeping ideas, I use Google Docs. I also use pencil and paper in a little notebook, or like journals that I have on my desk to keep everything kind of organized. I am a chaotic organized. Um,
Pen to paper. Yep. Joe's obsessed with planning and keeping everything organized. What is your ultimate character you would love to write?
like from my own head or
I don't know, Bailey. You want to expand on that?
oh, foot cramp.
Yes, Beck. Understand the chaotic organized. Oh, she said she always has so many things flowing in her head. So, like, other than the characters that you've already written, what do you have another character that you have that you would love to get?
After this series, I have The Heart of a Dragon and Chaos is a book series. I
That
also
sounds
had that book
amazing.
cover made. But it contains a dragon and six wolves and bloodlines and a rival wedding, and I kind of took a step
Okay,
back from that story and I can't wait to get back to it, but I need to finish this one first.
I need this out like now.
I can't have all four of them in the car with me. It would be chaos.
So Joe just found out about voice notes and she's obsessed with that.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. And that one is a 4 book series, and I'm hoping it stays that way.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm kind of obsessed with dragons. And then you put wolves in there and
Yeah, so the prince is the descendant of a divine dragon. So he has a dragon, and she is the descendant of a great wolf, and she has 6 wolves, and they kind of have little abilities. And
love it. Um, what is your favorite underappreciated novel or series? I am very
mm,
obsessed with dragons.
I don't know. I don't think I don't have any that I feel like are underappreciated, but maybe like the indie authors are like just they kind of go unnoticed because they're not pushed out as much because we're doing it ourselves. So I think the Pawn and the Puppet series was one that I really loved, but my husband actually bought it for me, so he found it, and I'd be so sad if I never read this book, these books. So I think it's the indie authors like we're doing it ourselves, and so sometimes it doesn't get pushed out, or the algorithm on TikTok doesn't favor us sometimes. So I don't think I have any that I think are like, I think it's the indie authors that I feel are like underappreciated.
I agree with that. There's so many good stories, and like Megan is one of them, and you're one of them. There's so many, but there's these amazing worlds that no, like I don't want to say nobody because they're doing well, but like
Mhm.
I feel like so many people are missing out.
Right.
Yeah. No Spice Guys yet. It's a
Yeah,
slow burn.
I have a request, so I'm working on it for it to get spicier. Yep. See, guilty one. That's where the request is coming from. Okay.
I love Casey L. Bond. She was on last week, and her stories have all the build up of a relationship, but there's absolutely no spice, and I don't miss it when I'm reading it because I'm so immersed into the world and these characters. So I don't
Hmm.
know. I love spice. Don't get me wrong, but I also love books that the plot's good enough that you don't rely
Hmm.
on that. Yeah, I don't like spice just for spice. I have to have the plot.
Yeah, you're really muffled.
What?
What I said was, is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What I said was that it's going to be such a slow burn that when the spice happens, it's gonna be a big old bang.
Love that. Well, that's kind of like Spark of the Everflame, right? Like that was a big, that was a long burn. So what does literary success look like to you?
Mm. I think it's just doing something that I love that makes me
Good. Yeah,
happy. I hope it
I love
reaches
that.
people that need to read it, but this story was also I wrote it for me to heal my younger self, and it was the story that it's a story I wish I could have read as a little girl when I first
Hmm.
started reading. So I think I think that'll be enough for me.
Um, okay, so if you could time travel to any era, where would you go and why?
Oh gosh. Ooh, I don't know. I don't think I would.
Oh, um, if you could switch lives with any fictional character, who would it be
Oh
and why?
goodness. Oh, there's so many good ones to choose from.
Yeah,
I might have to go
I
with one of
would.
my favorite books, and it'd be Haunting Adeline. Like,
Ooh, that was surprising to me. I figured it would be a romantasy girly.
I am a romanticy, but I also do love like dark romance.
I love that. Um, mine would be Violet because she's got Taryn and Darna.
I will say I still have to read that series. I've got so many spoilers on TikTok that now I'm like
Yeah,
I want to read it so bad, but I'm dreading it because I know too much.
yeah. I stayed home from work to read it the day that Onyx Storm came out, and there were already spoilers by like 6 o'clock that morning. I'm like, are you guys crazy?
Yeah, that's why she pushed her release back. Is
People
because of all the
suck.
spoilers and she was really upset about it.
Um, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Mm. I feel like you're always supposed to pick the fun ones with these questions, but I always like think about it.
I know I would teleport because I love to travel, and if I could just go somewhere, I would. I would love that.
I feel like mind reading would be fun, but I feel like I already do that with my job because I'm very emotionally aware, so I can tell a lot by somebody when they're in the same room with me and the vibe. But sometimes I just wish I could tell what's going on in someone's head. Or my
Yeah,
dog. Can I talk to my dog? Because I really want to know if she's like calling me names in her head.
that would be cool to talk to animals.
I
All
feel like
right,
it would
guys.
also be scary.
Huh, true. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Bell? It would be fun to fly too, but I think I would just rather teleport.
That is true.
Get it out of the way.
Sorry, I wanted to have
Um,
a bigger area to tap.
what?
I needed a bigger area to tap. I kept tapping
Oh,
on freaking things.
Who's your
who's
husband's
your
favorite character? From what I've told him about the story, he's also helped me with a lot of ideas and been my sounding board. I think his favorite is probably Darren.
yeah? Um, are you going to any book events or anything soon?
So I'm actually going to Flirty KC this weekend. I'm just going to go hang out. I don't have a booth, just because it is a new release, but I do plan to have a booth next year.
Awesome.
And
I don't know if you were in. I think you were in here. I don't know where you're at exactly, but Indie LitCon is still looking for authors. If that would be something that you would be interested in,
yeah, I'll have to check it out, see what my schedule looks like.
she needs to go to Texas.
And she needs to travel down here. Well,
I think you just need to come up north, Lyha.
yeah, how about them apples?
Um, well, Miss Bell, do you have anything you want to tell people, or any
Um,
tidbit sneak peek you could give us for the next book?
Details about the next book. I do predict it to be, I don't know if you can. So this is book one and its thickness. I do predict book two to be a little thicker.
Yeah, it's only
And
500 pages, right?
yes, um, the fact that I don't know off the top of my head. 528.
Oh,
I do think it's going to be a little bit bigger, and I think that it is definitely very plot driven, and I'm loving
mhm.
every second of it. And the dark wood, for anyone who's like seen my video, I posted a video of like the soldiers talking about the dark wood, and we're gonna find out what lives in the dark wood. And I'm loving every second of it.
That's so exciting. Um, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
It's
you.
been so fun. Congratulations on your book release. You guys
Thank you.
go make her release day. Well, yesterday was her release day, so go get the book, hype her up, review it.
Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, it is only on Kindle right now, but physical copies are to come. I'm just figuring out all the proofs. I've got paperback ones, and I'm still waiting for my hardcover to come in to see if there's needs any fixes to it.
Well, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Tag her and all the things. Yes. Um, don't forget, Laya has the Spice Off next weekend.
This weekend. This weekend.
Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know. That's this weekend, ma'am. At 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Yes, I I don't know why I keep thinking it's next weekend. It's
No,
Saturday,
next
people.
weekend's my son's birthday party.
That's what it is. Um, and then hopefully you guys sign up and I can do my blind date with Kay next weekend. But I need you guys to sign up.
Hey, Kay, have you posted that in my FB group? I have a lot of
Nope.
authors in there. You should. I'll
Okay.
approve it as soon as you do it.
Okay.
And put
There
it in
is
my
a
disco.
link. I'll post it again. There's a link in my disco, Megan, but I'll send it to you. I just need you to fill out what you need, and then I put it all in a spreadsheet. So, like, if you're worried about people getting your information, nobody sees the information but me. And then if you choose to go forward with whoever's in the boxes that you meet, you can give them that info. But I don't want to share other people's information. So, um, what else? Oh, Lyha and I are going to start doing. I don't think so. The only one I've got so far is AB. Lyha and I are going to start doing lives where we just want people to come up and talk about whatever they want. Authors, whoever, like a pitch us your book kind of thing, just to have fun and hang out for a little bit.
We've kind of been doing it already in mine. So y'all kind of know what the deal is. Bring the author up. We discuss their stuff. Bring the author up. We discuss their stuff. We hijack the rest of their night and question them about their books. Or, we just hang out and let other authors come in and pitch us the book. So we get more things to add to our ever growing, never ending TBRs.
Yeah, Courtney, I thought about doing that with Indie LitCon and Rebels and Realms because they are both looking for authors. So if you're close to Arkansas, or Arkansas, as Courtney says, um, Rebels and Realms is still looking for authors as well.
Look, Claire, there's something for you.
Yeah. All right, guys, I hate to run, but my mom's on the way to the ER, so I need to go there. Um, but Bella, it was so nice talking to you. Thank you for coming on. Um,
Thank you.
keep us updated. We'll help you promote as much as we can.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tapping, sharing
Bye.
all the things.